Hello everyone and a very good day. My name is Malaysia'S and I will explain about what is Malaysia's Vision 2020. So, Malaysia's Vision 2020 basically is a long-term development plan of Malaysia that incorporates all aspects of life including economic prosperity, social well-being, world-class education, political stability, and psychological equilibrium. And the goals or the objectives of this vision is Malaysia can become self-sufficient and industrialized country by 2020. And then the person behind Malaysia's Vision 2020 is Tun Dr. Mahathir bin Mohamad. He presented Malaysia Vision 2020 at the first meeting of the Malaysian Business Council on February 8, 1991. He said, by 2020, Malaysia should not only be economically developed, it should be fully developed in all dimensions economically, politically, socially, spiritually, psychologically, and culturally. We must develop national unity and social cohesion, economic development, social fairness, political stability, the government system, quality of life, social and spiritual values, national pride, and confidence.
In Malaysia Vision 2020 has integrated progress, which is outlined 7 elements in achieving Malaysia's Vision 2020. First is the government wants to achieve stable unity in society. Stable unity can be measured when all races in Malaysia can live with the same understanding and not create any misunderstandings with each other. Second is to achieve political stability in the country. Third, the height of the standard of the living people that emphasize the well-being of the people includes reducing the unemployment rate in Malaysia. Next are the moral and ethical values. The issues of people in moral and ethical issues can prevent Malaysia's struggle to be a developed country. Fifth, the constancy of the government system. For example, government can increase bilateral relations with other countries due to a stable government system. Sixth is the height of the nation's dignity. And the last is the spirit and the confidence of the nations. But in fact, in an effort to reach the visions of Malaysia Vision 2020, nine significant obstacles were outlined in Malaysia Vision 2020. The first is to build a unified nation. In this effort, the government has taken several initiatives in establishing several policies, including National Development Policy. The next one is build a free, spirited society. That one is nurtures and builds a democratic and mature society. The fourth one is create a moral and ethical society. The fifth creates a mature, liberal, and a tolerant society. And the sixth one is builds a developed and scientific society. The seventh is to create a caring culture. It guarantee a fair and equitable society. And the last one is to nurture and build a proper society.
The article from Zhu Jianing, the economic impact of Malaysia institution of the value of the Vision 2020 is good to be as a references because in that article, the author has debated several issues that are trigger for the government value to realize Vision 2020. In my opinion, Vision 2020 can be successful if it passes 9 strategic challenge goals stated as below. Malaysia need to face all these challenges to make sure our vision of 2020 achieved. However, in this article, the author will share the overview about the factors that prevent Vision 2020 from succeeding, such as the political instability, corruption, and the policy of Malay supremacy. In the next slide, we will share more about this fact. Thank you.
Into Cambridge Business English Dictionary, mismanagement defines as a situation in which an institution is organized or controlled badly. And in this Malaysia's Vision 2020's context, mismanagement refers to the Malaysian government's inability to solve internal issues that hindered the progress of Malaysia's Vision 2020. And this then what sparked several problems within a domestic level in Malaysia, such as racial polarization, political instability, and corruption. Despite its multicultural society, Malaysia has experienced ethnic tensions, particularly right after the implementation of the Bumiputra policy. So the term of Bumiputra itself, it is used to refer Malays people or Orang Melayu, as well as the indigenous people in East Malaysia and Peninsular. Before gaining its independence in 1957, Malaysia was at an extreme poverty level, and all the economic activities was carried out by Chinese merchants. To stabilize the country's economy, Malaysian government encouraged all the Chinese merchants to settle down in Malaysia, and all the Bumiputra privileges were then legally implemented through Malaysian New Economic Policy, or also known as NEP, in 1970. The privileges can be found in every aspect of life, such as education, social welfare, and business. In 2022, Pusat Komas, or Human Rights Commission in Malaysia, reported that there has been an increase in the number of discrimination incidents by 82 cases across various sectors in Malaysia, compared to the previous years, which was only 55 cases. This data illustrates an iceberg phenomenon, indicating that there are still many unreported cases of discrimination. During the Asian financial crisis in 1998, Malaysia experienced significant challenges. To stabilize the economy, Mahathir Mohamad, or the ruling prime minister, would like to implement high interest rate and strong austerity measures to help the sliding currency. On the other hand, Anwar Ibrahim, his deputy prime minister, would like to allocate greater government spending and low interest rate to revive the economy. Their dissenting opinion resulted in a fierce feud and ultimately led to Anwar's imprisonment on corruption and sodomy allegation. Darren Acemoglu, a prominent economist from Turkey, emphasized in his book Why Nations Fail about the importance of political stability to economic national development. Corruption had negative impacts on the realization of Malaysia's Vision 2020. One of the significant examples was the 1MDB corruption scandal back in 2016. 4 billion US dollar was fraudulently misappropriated from a state investment fund, which negatively impacted both the economy and politics. The former Prime Minister, Najib Razak, involved in this scandal and misappropriated the money for his own benefit. This had major effects for the economy's collapse in terms of investors' trust in the market as well as public confidence.
Malaysia was negatively damaged by the economic collapse of the Asian financial crisis in 1998. The Thailand was where the crisis began, and the Southeast Asia soon became involved. In addition to economic downturns, it resulted in currency devaluations. The severity of the financial crisis can be seen by the fact that these countries, which mean Malaysia's GDP growth rate significantly dropped from 8.3% in 1997 to minus 7.4% in 1998, quoted by World Bank 2021. The crisis exposed weakness in the Malaysian financial system, which led the government to enact policies like capital controls and bank reorganizations in an effort to stabilize the economy in this country. The 2008 global financial crisis also had a significantly negative influence on the Malaysian's economic progress. Not only financial crisis, the pandemic also caused disruptions in the global supply chains, reduced global demand, and necessitated strict containment measures such as lockdowns and travel restrictions. So the disruptions between the supply and demand is access. These factors significantly influence Malaysian economic development and movement toward the Vision 2020 can classify as a failed. According to the Malaysian Department on the Statistics, the country's GDP will contract by 5.6% in 2020, the poorest performance since the Asian financial crisis of 1998. And this is a statement quoted by Hermes Auto 2021.
In conclusions, Malaysia Vision 2020 failure is due to mismanagement or external factor that cannot be evaluated and placed as failing for just one factor, because both factors are either mismanagement or external factor, both of which play a very important role and have a significant impact of the country progress. Malaysia Vision 2020 failure has been attributed to the internalization, which includes its own administration's failure to handle such problems as racial polarizations, political instability, and corruptions. is demonstrate Malaysian mismanagement throughout the time period. However, the failure of Malaysia Vision 2020 owing to external causes includes the 1998 and 2008 financial crisis, the COVID-19 pandemic, and the trade war. So both are clearly among the causes of Malaysia Vision 2020 would not be able to reach developed nation status by 2020. However, Malaysia government is not giving up easily and is currently working towards their new objective, which is the shared prosperity objective 2030. So that's all from us. Thank you.